Watch Transit TV right now.
Mi hormonal ultimate comentario 1. Keep watching Transit TV and stay more for premium content. Otra vez, adios.
Always liked right from the time he was in Wolves, just that he had his injury problems. Arsenal and Chelsea went and grabbed him last days of the transfer window, and he's scoring his third goal today. He was always going to score. If there was one player in Chelsea today that you could bank on that was going to score from the way the game was going, he knew that it was Neto. And Arsenal did a very poor close. Transit TV, Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1. Big team clash, not London derby. Top end of the table clash. It was always going to be a cracker. I mean, this is one looks a little bit close to what it should be when Chelsea and Arsenal meet. These are two giant clubs in London. Anytime they meet, you know what you're going to expect. There's been disparity in recent history. Stamford Bridge has been a hunting ground for Arteta. I think 6 visits now. He's won like 4 of them drawn. I don't think he has lost at Stamford Bridge since he became Arsenal coach. Yes, and Arsenal has been in a very, very bad form coming into this one. Chelsea, on the other hand, been flying. And you don't really know what you're going to get from this one. But one thing was sure, Arsenal didn't need to lose today. And have to try everything they needed to win. Yes, we're going to look at this one. 5 things we learned from this one. And yeah, first of all, it was going to be a tricky one for Arsenal because you're not really sure what approach to take. Do you go all out to win, or are you going to just try to stop losing games and then build from there? And most times teams tend to stop the losing streak and then build from there, because if you try to go all out to win, Chelsea has the tools, Chelsea has the quality to hurt you, and if that happens, then you're even into worse situation. Before coming to this game, Arsenal was 6th on the table, 1 point. Getting from this one, they move 4th, just behind Chelsea, Manchester City, and Liverpool, meaning that they're about, I think, 9 points now adrift of Liverpool on top of the table. Yes, that's the outcome of this one. And I think Arteta and his boys got this one spot on the approach. They were very, very strong and focused defensively and always try to do something going forward whenever the opportunity presents itself. And that was the talk of the game. This meant that first half of this game was a little bit drab. There was really nothing to differentiate between the two teams. It was always going to be, more of commitment, more of energy, more of trying to win your duels and not be light in duels. And yeah, there was really nothing. In fact, I was like, no, there's no quality in this game. Then, of course, second half comes, both teams, both managers had the opportunity to talk to their players, and coming back into it, we saw something different. First talking point, this is a new Chelsea. Chelsea is back. If you think that Chelsea is going away, you might have to think twice in this one, because they are back. Chelsea, not a finished article yet. They still have work to do, especially defensively. They still have to probably get some experienced players to blend with these young ones. But in terms of quality, in terms of organization, in terms of being a team that you should fear, yes, Chelsea is back. That's one thing you can say. For this one, last season, of course, you can say they were doing good against big teams as well, but they are losing some very uncomfortable games and losing to smaller teams. Sometimes it was hit and miss for them last season under Poch until toward the end of the season. But this season, Maska has come in, steadied the ship, giving them a kind of structure and a base, and they are building from that. And that takes us into Caicedo. Caicedo has become the player that we all thought that Chelsea was signing. He is now a mainstay for for Chelsea, and you can see Fernandez cannot even get a playing time. The kind of partnership that Caicedo and Lavia formed in that midfield is one to watch going into the future. They have really, they say, formed the steel for Chelsea in that midfield, and it is one to be watched. And on the other hand, Palmer, quality, but it looks like he still has some growing up to do. In big games, sometimes he tends to disappear. Today, we didn't see Palmer. Abysmal corner kicks, all the free kicks, there was no quality, and he couldn't really, sometimes he disappeared in the game. And one can even say they're surprised that he finished the game for Chelsea. And the top talking point is Odegaard. They say a tree does not make a forest, but it looks like Arsenal has really missed their captain. Martinelli scored today, but that goal was written all over it was Odegaard's name. You could see he was knitting everything together for Arsenal. Arsenal now, was able to sustain possession up the pitch, and you could see how much the players trust him. All the balls were going to him, and he will always manufacture something, forming triangles in different parts of the pitch with Saka, Kai Havertz, on the other hand, Martinelli, knitting things together. Arsenal has really, really missed this guy. And just him coming back changed a whole lot in the team as well. You remember last week I was complaining about Arteta not playing Kai Havertz as a number 9. Today with Odegaard, Kai Havertz went in as a number 9. You could see that the Chelsea defenders were engaged in this game because they have to worry about Kai Havertz. And this gave Arsenal some time on the ball push forward, and they had a lot of questions to ask Chelsea today. And if you cannot say that yes, it was a draw, yet both teams even each other out, but Arsenal kind of edged it out a little bit above Chelsea. If you want to really go into details, I've not really looked at the numbers yet, but statistically, you can see that Arsenal was just a little bit better than Chelsea, and this is just because of Odegaard. On the other hand, Palmer could not do what Odegaard was doing for Arsenal. So Odegaard back, and he looked sharp, played 90 minutes, looked like he's fully fit. And this is one good news that Arsenal fans have to take away from this one, because if Odegaard can perform like this going to the next games, and it looks like the next fixtures for Arsenal are going to be winnable games. So with this kind of performance, then we can always say that the days will Arsenal now have to worry what the results will be for Liverpool. So the Odegaard, what a player. I'm sure Real Madrid right now will be asking themselves what did they do, because they need a player like that badly in Real Madrid at the moment. And he came in today, gave a captain's performance, kept Arsenal ticking, and caused all kinds of problems for Chelsea in this one. And the net talking point was Neto. Neto is a player that I've always liked right from the time he was in Wolves. Just that he had his injury problems. Arsenal and Chelsea went and grabbed him last days of the transfer window, and he's scoring his third goal today. He was always going to score. If there was one player in Chelsea today that he could bank on that was going to score from the way the game was going, he knew that it was Neto. And Arsenal did a very poor closing down on him right there. And with the player of his quality, he can't give him that kind of space. One that plays, manifested in front of the 10-year boss. There was only one thing he was going to do, just bury it. And that's the thing. The margins are very small. That talks about margins. They are very small when it comes to games like this. You don't do that. And I'm not going to blame Kai Havertz. He worked hard in this game, and having the knock he had on his head probably was a little bit jetted and couldn't close Neto down. And that is what you get when you have those kinds of quality that Chelsea has up front. Neto, Palmer, Noni Madueke, and the rest of them. When you give them that kind of opportunity, they will take it, and they will take it real good. And that was what Neto did today. So he was always going to score. One other talking point on this one is Mikel Merino. I know a lot of people have been talking about him, saying a few things about him, not playing well. And I'm one of those people. And I said that Arteta needed to not be starting him in games, maybe give him time to bed into the game. And second half, he came in, and this looked like a very, very perfect game for him to play in, and secondly, at the right time to come in. He, as Odegaard was doing things, running the show, forming triangles on the right side, he perfectly sorted in the left side and was forming his own triangles, picking up defensive positions sometimes when need be, and going forward, popping up in the 18-yard box as well to be the second runner into the box, which also posed problem for Chelsea. So I think I got it spot on today, especially with his substitution and the lineup. Mikel Merino looks like a quality player. He looks like a good addition to the team. But I feel that this is how to get him up to par with the way the team plays. If he plays like this, maybe 2-3 games, you have a better understanding of how this Arsenal team plays and what his role is, and to help him to get going and start to infect games. Yeah, so give and take, this is not a game that any Arsenal fan will be very happy about the outcome. But one good thing you take away from it is that Arsenal did not lose today. They stopped their losing streak and fourth on the table going to the third international break. Not a bad one. On the other hand, Chelsea fans, if you had told them that come this time of the season, based on what happened last year, they're going to be third on the table behind Manchester City ahead of Arsenal, nobody would have bet on this one. So good times for Chelsea, good times for the team. And but don't forget that one other issue with Chelsea is, yes, it's all going good for them so far this season. Do they have the experience? Do they have the weight of mentality in that team in case things go wrong? Because a lot of teams have had bad patches. If it's not form, it's injuries. When injuries come knocking to key players or suspension, people like Palmer, Caicedo, is this thing going to be able to hold their own? But again, those questions will be answered when that happens. If they manage to keep going this way to January and probably add 1 or 2 players, who knows, Chelsea could be title contenders this season. And that is a good news for our Chelsea fans. It's been a long time coming. Yes, they have put in over 1.4 billion in this team the last 2 or 3 years. But I mean, that's for the financial people. But for fans, all they need to do, all they want is to see their team play. When it comes to big games like this, not be pushovers and stay up there at the table. And that they have done so far this season. So Chelsea fans, let me know, what else do you think Maresca needs to do to get this team where they're supposed to be? For Arsenal fans, I know it's been rocky times for you guys, but with games like this is close to what Arsenal has been the last 2-3 seasons. And I believe with Odegaard back now and some stability in terms of players being available, I think going forward, Arsenal fans should expect this team to do what they have been doing the last 2 seasons. And we'll see how that's going to pan out as the season goes on. We'll see you tomorrow. It's going to be a full EPL roundup. Of course, Manchester United I think this should be the last game for Van Nistelrooy before Amorim comes in. Had a very thumped Leicester today 3-0. And we look at Tottenham as well, losing at home to Ipswich. So those games will be looked at tomorrow. That video will be dropping tomorrow for our EPL weekend roundup. And we will also be giving you our NPFL. It's a big weekend in NPFL. Right now, we hear there's some security concerns in the game between Enyimba and Rivers United in Port Harcourt. We'll be giving you, Victor is over there, and we'll be giving you, feed from that game and the roundup for our EPL. So I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.